Hi, everyone, and welcome to yet another Thursday of having our iTeraCare discovery session with me, Mugi. Thank you for everyone for dialing in. If you would like to turn on your camera and join me as a human being, you are most welcome. Otherwise, I see you. Even if I can't see you, I see you. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining me every Wednesday. So every week we have a really interesting guest, and today I am more than excited to introduce the guest that we have later. But first, let's get to what we're here to talk about. If you have been sent this link by someone who cares about you, then congratulations. A, for having someone who cares about you, but B, also congratulations for listening in about the iTeraCare. I am talking here representing an organization called Pride International that has been in this world since 2021 as a result of having the device that we are going to talk about today, which is the iTeraCare. The iTeraCare came about, and it is the reason why Pride International has expanded to around the world, basically. Yeah, we have a presence in every continent except Antarctica. So we are global, and that's because of the device that we have, and that's because of the effect that it has. And today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the iTeraCare from the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine as a framework of understanding what the iTeraCare does and how to truly think about it. And then later, I will be introducing Moon Tan, who will be sharing her experience of using the iTeraCare and what she thinks about it, how she talks about it. We'll be hearing from her. And I am like pretty excited about that. But until then, let's all get on and take a look at the iTeraca. I'm going to share my screen now. And a big hi to May. I'm glad you're in where you will learn a lot. I really hope that you do. With me, Mugi from Private International. And now let me share my screen. I understand that you guys can't see me right now. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okie dokie. Now, let me share my screen so we can get on with it. Here we go. Okie dokie. So while we are here to talk about the iTeraCare not must be, it can be understood through the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine. So I'm going to talk about it today from the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine. Just so you guys know, it's not that people have different bodies. All of us are human beings, and we share the beauty of being a human being by basically having the same kind of bodies and the same internal structure. However, you can look at a coin from different angles and see two different faces. You can look at a diamond and see many faces. It is the same coin and it is the same diamond. In the same way, the perspective that you bring to something can give you a different kind of way of looking at it. A lot of us now are very used to the school biology science based way of looking at things, which is truly the result of humanity developing tools of greater sight, whether it is greater sight into small things like with microscopes or to big things with telescopes. This is the birth of science, and this is why we think that the best of knowledge is knowledge that we get by directly observing something. But the thing is, this is the privilege of the modern man, right? Like there was a time where we did not have these technologies, but we still had to make the human body work better. We still had to fix problems coming from the human body, even without being able to look inside the human body and see the stomach and see the blood and see the immune cells, sorry, see the white blood cells and see the plasma. We had to be able to understand the body and fix it without knowing what's going on. So the easiest way to do that is obviously to observe patterns, right? Because that's how we can understand something that we don't know about. So traditional Chinese medicine is the compilation of people who have looked at the human body going wrong in various ways across thousands of years and have put things together in terms of pattern recognition based on how symptoms cluster together. So if there's something going on with you, it's rarely one thing. It usually comes with a lot of things, right? Like if you have diarrhea, then you could also be having like dehydration. There's a lot of things that could be going on at the same time. It's very rare that you have one thing. So putting all of these things together has enabled traditional Chinese medicine practitioners to come up with the way of looking at the body that is an excellent way of that is an excellent tool. It's just like you don't need to understand how something works to work on it if you just understand the structures and the systems behind it. So this is what they have tried to do. And the way they look at the body may not match the the biological perspective that you may have. For example, uh let me next slide, please. Why are none of my controls working? Hang on, give me a second. Yes, they did. Okay, there we go. Also, my cat want to say hi. Say hi, cat. Okay. Oh, right. So when traditional Chinese medicine talks about the concept of qi, those who are those who are used to seeing the world from a purely materialist perspective may have a hard time understanding the idea of a magical thing that flows around our body that cannot be seen by a microscope. But this is, in fact, an understanding of the how it feels, right? Like there is the kind of feeling where you feel like you have a lot of vitality, you have a lot of energy, and there's the feeling you have when you have like a lack of that. So chi is understood to be the flow of this active energy through the body, and how the body works according to a traditional Chinese medicine perspective is that despite you have organs, but no man is an island and no organ is an island onto itself. Everything is connected in the body. So there are things that need to flow with the body. So if you're dealing with like your digestion, to focus narrowly only on the stomach is narrow-minded, considering that the effects of digestion can range across the whole body, and the same thing for everything else. So traditional Chinese medicine views the human body as having like specific pathways that flow through the body. And through these pathways, there is a vital energy of qi that flows. And if you have a compilation of different symptoms that are affecting your health, then you can see it as a lack of chi flow across these systems, across these channels, and therefore, as a result, that's why you feel this way. So, even though you cannot see chi and measure it, it is a functional understanding. And when we talk about blood here, it is not blood only blood, the red blood cells of the blood that we know. It is the whole concept of the flow of nourishing energy, of circulation, of grounding substance. So these are like comparative ideas, one of the flow of active energy and one of the flow of grounding substance. Similarly, you have the ideas of yin and yang that are also just equally opposite ideas of cool and of warmth. You have the ideas of deep reserves. These are all metaphorical ideas that reflect how human beings really are, because you can look at a group of people and see some people who have deep reserves that enables them to overcome everything, and you have some people who are like kind of shallow in that in that capacity to carry them or to carry reserves that keep them going despite a really hard time. So the idea of these deep reserves is known as Jing. The idea of like having a mind, spirit, and this conscious presence about you, your maybe your energetic form or your emotional energy or even your mind, spirit, consciousness, so to speak is the concept of Shen. And all of this resides within a body that is still a physical body and still needs to be taken care of in the 3D. Because no matter how much you work on your spiritual understandings, if you don't hydrate this body, if you don't water this plant, it will dry up and that is bad. So all of these are core concepts behind the idea of traditional Chinese medicine that tries to bring about a non-materialist way of looking at the body, understanding that fundamentally we are all energy beings. So with that, I'm going to kind of like breeze through this. These are just like baseline ideas of the concepts behind TCM. And the only thing that I want to highlight here is how symptoms can go together and how this can be a way for you to understand either yourself or another person. And later, as we get into iTeraCare, you will know why these are concepts that are important to consider. So, in the balance of the body, the human body is not a system of one thing. It is a balance between many things. And in a way, the grand role of the consciousness of the body is to maintain the balance. It's not to be too much of one thing or too much of the other thing, but to serve everything in a way that respects the balance of the body. So traditional Chinese medicine has these concepts where they compare two obviously comparable things of like cool and warmth, of day and night, of rest and activeness, and how the human body is a dynamic balance of these two things, where these two things need to be balanced. And you can clump symptoms together in a way that can be described as an excess or deficiency of one or the other. For example, if like these are all valid symptoms that people face, whether you're talking about having a red face, that usually goes with being thirsty, being irritable, having constipation or burning sensation. If someone is having all of these symptoms clustered together, it is seen as having an excess of heat in the body. And similarly, having opposite symptoms is seen as having an excess of cold in the body. And similarly, you can clump together symptoms for yin and yang deficiency. And all I want to tell you from telling you about all of this is that uh, what I know about traditional Chinese medicine is fundamentally that everything needs to flow in harmony and be in balance. Like, I am not a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. So I suggest you guys, if you guys have a specific question, like, hey, I've got this problem, what is the TCM reasoning behind it? I think you guys can check with a TCM doctor or chat GPT. However, this baseline understanding of clumping symptoms together is something very practical that you can use as a practitioner to interpret your body or the body of someone else as well. Like you can look at this understanding that just even without being a having a medical degree, even you can understand the body in a way that you can clump symptoms together and try to see a pattern behind it, whether something is more on the interior or the exterior of the body, whether something is more on the hot side or the cold side in terms of how it's presenting to you, whether something could be an excess or a deficiency, or how is this reflecting an imbalance in your body. Similarly, you can also look at common patterns where you may not know exactly from a biological perspective what's going on, but you can feel symptoms. For example, I'm jammed is kind of like a signal, right? Where you feel like stuck, you feel tension, you're sighing a lot, you have a lot of mood swings, you have chest or rib tightness, and you're feeling stuck. This is all of these symptoms are put together And how TCM looks at this is that, well, if a person is feeling all of this, then obviously there's something wrong, right? Their system is blocked or it's not moving smoothly. So, with the baseline understanding that there is a flow in this body that needs to flow, and that's your vital energy. If you're feeling stuck, then obviously, by reason of like this understanding, your vital energy is blocked or not moving smoothly. That is what they describe as chi stagnation. And similarly, and this kind of describes my last week, if I'm being honest, if you're feeling a lot of fatigue, you have weak voice, you have shortness of breath, spontaneous sweating, and especially poor digestion, and feeling like your battery has been low, in TCM, that is put together as a sign that you are lacking in this vital energy, that is vital energy is deficient in your body. And similarly, all of these different symptoms can be put together in a way that you can understand the body by using these terms that, even though it may not be medically valid, like for example, dampness, phlegm, heat, or cold, still gives you a simple way of understanding your body as a TCM beginner, and knowing that you have the ability to understand what is in imbalance in your body, and now you can put all of it together in a way where you can improve the flow of your own body, and you can therefore make things better for your lived experience. Now, obviously, there are TCM doctors exist for a reason, right? They do a lot of things with a lot of methodologies in order to restore this flow, from heat to acupuncture, in some cases, massage, scraping, gua sha, cupping. There's a lot of traditional ways of restoring this vital flow within your body in a way that cannot be easily explained by a materialist biological Western medicine perspective of the body. So when you look at patterns in the body, you can figure out what is stuck in your body. And this is some of the conversations that you will be having with your traditional Chinese medicine practitioner if you have one. And remember, obviously, right, everything I'm saying is educational only. Like, if you're going to be dealing with herbs, acupuncture, or treatment decisions, these should be handled by qualified professionals. Don't hand me a needle. I don't know what to do with it. However, when we move from patterns to pathways, then we can form an understanding of the body that we can then, through the power of technology, make use of to make things better. And what I mean by that is like this. We evolved, we evolved biologically as tool using creatures, right? Obviously, like as early beings that found our niche in the food chain. Our niche came from group work, group running, marathoning, and like exhausting larger prey animals, but also at the same time using tools. Early humans snacked on food that was left over by other big game animals, and what our niche in the ecosystem was that we were able to make use of sharp rock to crack bones and get at the highly nutritious bone marrow. And these were some of the ways where we were able to scavenge of other predators. So we evolved with, sorry for getting distracted. We evolved with the capacity to use tools in a really fundamental biological way. I'll give you a simple example. Do you know how your laptop, do you know how your phone works? Like your phone is in your hand 24/7. If your phone is taken apart, can you put it back together? I don't think so. But you know how to use your phone as a tool. Similarly, you may not know to the extent of a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, like what is going on in your body from that perspective of like accurate acupuncture points and this and that, and like you may not have the capacity to poke needles into specific points in your body. However, understanding the body as a pathway of meridian channels allows you to truly make use of the tool that we are here to talk about, the iTeraCare. The iTeraCare was invented by Professor Yang Wenjun, who is a terahertz researcher and famed product innovator from China. He began looking at using the terahertz frequency wave and its health applications way back in 2013, and he developed what he called the world's first human health light wave device in 2014, starting the Dishang brand in 2015. In 2021, when we started and he partnered with us for global market expansion for the device that he had created that he called the first human health lightweight device that we now call the iTeraCare. The iTeraCare is not a medical device. It is not a device that is designed to treat, cure, or diagnose any specific diseases, and it is not a device that is designed to like miraculously heal your body. All this is that this is just a wellness device that emits heat and terahertz frequency. Terahertz frequency is just a specific frequency range, and the reason why this works is because this can penetrate materials and can penetrate into the body and is absorbed by water in the body. So it is the natural frequency of our human cells. And so when our body is exposed to this terahertz frequency, the heat emitted by this device helps to relax the area. And the terahertz frequency is pointed towards the meridian points and pathways in the body as part of a TCM approach to supporting flow and comfort. Because how TCM looks at the body is that you have all of these highways in the body, these 12 primary meridians and true extraordinary meridians, as they call it, that cover the 365 points in the body that cover everything going on and all of the chi in your body flow through this. So the way TCM looks at it, if you're having symptoms, there is a corresponding meridian channel that is having a blockage in this chi flow. Like for example, if you have respiratory issues, low immunity, shortness of breath, and skin problems, then they consider it as a blockage of your lung meridian channel. Having lower back pain, weak knees, and fatigue is seen as a blockage in your kidney meridian channels, and so on. Again, I'm not a TCM doctor. Feel free to check in with a TCM doctor or help check in with ChatGPT. But knowing this is how you can put all of this together into the iTeraCare. Because the iTeraCare emits terahertz frequency and heat, and the heat relaxes the body, which allows the terahertz frequency to penetrate deeply into the body, warm the pathway, stimulate important points, and support the natural flow of chi in your body. So when we get you to use the iTeraCare, there's a lot of different ways of explaining the effect that it has in the body. But regardless of how you see the human body, we tend to tell you this, right? Once you buy the iTeraCare, no matter how you think how it works, just use it like this. Drink 2 glasses of warm water beforehand, 2 glasses of water afterwards so you don't get dehydrated, and follow all of these points where you hit these 10 points with 2 to 3 minutes per area, and you just keep it moving and allow the frequency and the heat to penetrate into your body in a 20 to 30 minute single session. And we tell you to do this about twice a day for 2 to 3 weeks. Because when you do this, we will start to see that your body will have a lot of changes and that are reflective of your flow in the body improving. So you may wonder why these 10 points. And even from a TCM perspective, these 10 points are not random at all. Like when you blow at your palm, you're actually doing that because not only do many meridians start or end in the hands, it also helps to regulate your heart, pericardium, and triple energizer meridian. Similarly, when you hit your soul for 2 to 3 minutes, you're warming your kidney meridian, you're improving your grounding, sleep, and overall energy. The backbone, which is something that because you can also describe the iTeraCare from the perspective of blood flow, inflammation, etc., that have been the language used by various doctors who have taken up the iTeraCare and have incorporated it into their medical practice. However, since I'm not a doctor, I'm only pointing out the TCM version of it. But even from that perspective, I've heard a lot of doctors talk about how it's important to use it on your spinal cord, on your backbone continuously, because that has a lot of rejuvenating effects in the body, sometimes even described with like stem cell language. However, even in TCM, we still consider that very valid because the backbone is what contains the bladder meridian and also the governing vessel that runs along the spine, which is the sea of yang meridians. So when you use the iTeraCare along your spine, then you truly hit all of the meridian points up and down and all of the points that allows your whole body to regenerate, rejuvenate, and consistently improve the flow of chi in the body. So all of these are ways of understanding why the 10 point works. And all I can tell you is even if you don't get this stuff right, all you need to know is this. Just this is the simple, easy to use version. This is the driving an automatic car version. You don't need to know how gear shifting works. You don't need to know how transmission works. You just need to sit in your car, put it in drive, and like press the accelerator and go places, accomplish your goal of living a discomfort free, amazing life by just driving this automatic car. But beneath this automatic car is a transmission that is actually doing a lot of heavy lifting in regulating the flow in your body and getting everything to work. And when you hit your head, your upper back, your neck, your armpit, your butt, your groin, and around the knees, all of these points match TCM understanding. They match Western biological understanding because these are where your lymph nodes are, these are where your blood vessels are, etc. So, however you understand it, as long as you use it, you will see amazing results. Because there is no such thing as a different body. As a Homo sapiens sapien, we all have the same human body, and however you see the human body, you will get the result that you're looking for if you use this tool. And today I'm going to introduce our sharer of the day, who is who has been using this device not only for herself, but also for other people who have come to her for advice. Because if you think about it, not all of us are necessarily people that other people come to for advice about their body, right? But I have walked in, and this is a personal observation. I've walked into pharmacies that are filled with all I can describe them is as people who are getting older and are terrified about it. And the only person who's willing to like hear their fears out is the pharmacist. So I've seen like pharmacies full with people who are carrying like supplements in their hand, asking, is this good for this? Is this good for that? What can I do to live like a pain-free life? And everything behind it is fundamentally a cry for help coming from fear. So facing people like this is not an easy task, and we've been blessed to have pharmacists like Yilan and Moon who have taken up the iTeraCare as part of their journey of bringing wellness to people. And I'm so happy to have our share of the day, Moon. So, Moon, welcome to the call. I would like to invite you to first talk about yourself, let us know who you are and like what makes you tick, anything you want to share, and then you can get on. Yilan will be sharing your slides. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, please give a lot of hearts and like stuff in the chat to welcome our sharer of the day, Moon Tan. Thank you, Moon.
Hi, thanks, Mugi. Yeah, thanks, Ilan, for helping me to set up the slide. Hi, Lily. Hi, everyone from Malaysia and from Philippines and other countries. Yeah, I'm Moon from Seremban, from Malaysia. I'm a community pharmacist for 21 years. Just like Ilan, we are facing many customers with many different diseases every day. And then people come back for medicine refills, but it's not to heal their disease, it's just to control their disease. And sometimes they are getting worse that we cannot help. So that made us think what medicine can do, what medicine cannot do, and what other things, other alternatives that can help them and help us in future too, not only them. Yeah, we will getting old one day too. Okay, so I get to know about iTeraCare when Ilan first introduced to me in August 2023. That was because you know that I started to develop vitiligo since 2022. In the 1 year time, my first patch on vitiligo on the chin, getting bigger and bigger, and then my neck and my lower limbs, my feet too. So yeah, you can see this is today's photo, 2026. The patch on the chin was totally gone. Then my neck and my lower limbs improve. I think more than 70% the pigmentation come back lah. That you can see the islands of the patches, the pigmentations. Yeah. But then the improvement on myself is not that obvious and not that fast. What I can see well when I do the therapy for my customer in my shop, in my retail pharmacy, along the way, I can see what the iTeraCare can do for them. That gives me encouragement, confidence in continue using the iTeraCare. Yeah. So this was the very first customer. He got the device before me on the same day. When Ilan came in, yeah, this was Mr. Selva. His son is a doctor, and Mr. Selva's suffering neck stiffness for 2 years. He cannot even turn a bit of his neck, and then it was painful and pulling up to the arm. So Ilan did a 10-minute therapy session for him, and the video showed that he can turn slightly. You want to
Okay, Mr.
show?
Savaraja,
Yeah.
I mean, we've done that almost about 10 to 15 minutes on your shoulder where you said it was very stiff. Can you share a bit about what you couldn't do before this?
Couldn't turn right,
Okay,
and then a bit to the left. Now can turn
okay.
much better.
Now you can turn a bit more? Oh, okay.
Much more.
Just now you couldn't turn at all.
Yeah, the pain is there, but it's a bit the circle is a bit wider lah.
Oh, okay. So this part here,
Yeah.
you can try. Is it painful?
When I turn maximum, then it's a bit.
Okay. So a bit
Stiff.
more you can turn now.
Yeah.
Try again? Okay, good.
Then immediately he bought his device, iTeraCare Classic, and the CCTV show when he came back 3 weeks later, his neck movement is much more wider angle, and he was happy with that. This is really a great relief for him, especially when he drive, and he's still giving tuition up to today.
Okay, Mr. Selvaraj.
Okay, then the people around me also benefited from using iTeraCare, especially my family members. One by one, this is my father in 2024. His belly button started to get some infection. So initially we gave orally antibiotic and wound dressing. When the wounds getting healed, but then it recurs again. So for the second time, we didn't give any oral antibiotic, but we prescribed charged water to spray on the wound and blow on the wound for 5 minutes twice a day. You can see the wound, the pus coming out the next day, and then the wound is shrinking, drying, and healed in 1 week time. So the healing is even faster than the first time with the help of iTeraCare and charged water. Yeah, and then by blowing the tummy more, actually his bowel movement also very much improved. Then next, my mother's case. It was on Chinese New Year Eve. Her right knee started to have a very sharp and intense pain, acute onset. This is not a joint problem because see his X-ray showing the joint is perfectly healthy, right? Yeah. So for the continuous 9 days of intense pain that he cannot walk at all, cannot apply any pressure on the right knee, then we did X-ray, MRI, everything. Actually, she had meniscus tear. where doctors advise the RISE method, which is rest your knee, apply ice pack for a few hours, and then wrap with the supports, elevate the legs to reduce swelling. But then for the 9 to 10 days, it's not helping at all. Even orthopedic suggests to get a hyaluronic acid injection, but then it cannot promise any result because it's not the joint issue as well. Yeah, so my mother refused to take the injection. The day after went back from the hospital, I blow her for 30 minutes using my premium. So surprisingly, she called me the other day. She said the pain reduced very much to like 70%, but she didn't take any NSAID, any painkiller at all. So then she upgraded her iTeraCare Classic to premium. And she blow her knee, I think twice a day. Yeah, confidently. So and then you can see within 1 week, 1 month time, she followed me to Taiping. Yeah, which before that we asked her out for breakfast. She refused to because every step also make her sweat, make her pain. So she rather not walking. But 1 month time later, she follow us to Taiping, and then another month later, she follow us to Chiang Mai. So we've been traveling every year, 2025. This is 2026, June, that day in Chengdu. And August, we have another plan coming up, another trip coming up. She enjoy traveling now, as you can see. Now she can walk without walking stick already. Yeah. So this really improve her quality of life without any surgery, any injection. Natural healing. Yeah. Then this is Mr. William, roti canai maker. The first day he came to my pharmacy, he's actually looking for supplement for nerve because he just came back from hospital, the scans, everything. That he's having the cervical spine issue, the neck stiffness and pulling up to the right arm with 2 fingers numbness. Even he got no strength to hold on the motorbike. Yeah. Then doctor advised him to rest for 6 months. Cannot make his roti canai. So when I introduced him about iTeraCare, immediately he said he want to try because he saw iTeraCare on TikTok for quite some time already. So the day after 30 minutes treatment, he said the kebas, the numbness much reduced, the neck also much relief, less stiffness. Yeah. And then the next day when he messaged me, he said he went back to make roti canai already. The next day itself. So 1 week later, he came back to my pharmacy for another therapy. And this is the video I interviewed him. Let's hear about.
Tadi kita buat itu ni pernah kita main tangan ada macam kepas. Sekarang saya rasa okey lah. Dia macam ada tarik-tarik, sekarang sudah ada baik sikit lah.
Berarti hari tu punya kebas dari mana?
Dari atas sampai leh saya pergi.
Yilan, could you make it louder? I can't hear it.
Ada beritahu saya dia ada macam
Tekan.
ada minyak lah tekan. Dia cakap mau satu bulan makan ubat. Tapi sekarang saya rasa okey lah. Saya buat second time lagi mari.
Itu tarik sampai tangan kan?
Tangan.
Sampai sini kebas.
Kebas ini 2 jari, sekarang ini 1 jari okey, sekarang ini 1 lagi kebas. Lain semua okey lah.
Hari tu kebas sampai you sudah potong luka pun you tak perasan lah. Sekarang rasa okey sikit.
Semua ada rasa.
Okay, thank
Sekarang
you.
ini baik sikit lah.
Baik, thank you.
Yeah, the numbness even. Yeah.
Moon, so sorry, we couldn't, at least I couldn't really hear the audio. Could you just walk us through what just happened?
Oh yeah, because is it the compression on the neck actually affecting the whole right arm, that even 2 finger numbness and then hand also numb, that he cut himself also, he didn't realize about the wound. Yeah. And then that he cannot ride on the motorbike because the right arm will drop. So after the first treatment, now only 1 finger left with the numbness, and then the neck is much relaxed already. That's why the second day he can go back went back to make roti canai already. Then 1 week later he came for the second therapy. after second therapy, then I didn't see him for quite some time, few months. It just 3 months later, he messaged me again, said he want to bring his mother. His mother is having mouth stroke and then was so weak that two brothers have to carry her into my shop. Yeah. So after the 30 minutes therapy, then she could walk out with just one person supporting her. Yeah, with much more strength already. So the next week, she came for the second therapy. But actually, she was already moving freely at home with walking stick herself. Yeah. So after second therapy, then I didn't see her for quite some time. But according to William, she went back to work in school canteen already. It was just 1 month after the stroke. So very a great blessing for both of them with speedy recovery. Yeah, then the next one. This was also a great story about Mr. Bella. Actually, he got compression fracture on the spine. It started on the day when he walked out from the church. Then he suddenly couldn't walk, and then the pain is so much painful that the wife and the son have to carry him to into the car and directly send him to hospital. After did all the scan and transfer to HKM, did all kind of MRI. Doctor said he will be bedridden and on a wheelchair and pampers for his lifetime. Yeah. But then after 1 month plus bedridden, actually his cousin came to blow him for 1 hour session. Immediately after the 1 hour session, he can stand and walk. So his son happened to know that I'm selling this device. So he bought one for the father. So then the next next video is when he visited me. I was so surprised that he didn't use any support, didn't use any walking stick, walking aids at all.
Like normal only. Wow. Miracle. Okay.
So after he getting well, he actually blowing other people, his family, relatives, and friends that who needed the therapy as well. Yeah, he's helping other people.
Me. Yes, Bali.
Okay. Yeah, you can walk around in the house even after the first therapy. So iTeraCare works quite fast, especially on the inflammation.
என்னால வந்து நிக்க முடியுது நடக்க முடியுது 2 நாள் தான் செஞ்சிருக்கீங்க அப்போ நம்ம இன்னும் ஒரு 2-3 நாள் செஞ்சோம்னா இன்னும் நல்லா இருக்கும் ஓகே
Bali.
This was just another story about Mr. David, who had a fall in his bathroom. So his waist hitting the toilet bowl, but the bruise come 1 week later. It's a very big patch of bruises. Yeah, so I blow 30-minute session for Mr. David, and you can see the color changes from black to red, meaning the bruise and the blood clots were broken down. Yeah. So what iTeraCare, the frequency, the energy, it can break down our blood clots as well. That's why it can it can help in the stroke patients, and other blood circulation issues. So the next one you can see, this is blood circulation issues. Poor blood circulation, poor blood perfusion that's causing venous stasis. The blood is not like 100% going back to the body. The leftover red blood cells and the iron deposited on the skin, that you can see all the skin turn black. But this Mr. Wang, actually, he has no diabetes, no hypertension, is perfectly healthy person. Yeah, but then he was suffering for this issue for quite some time, and both of his lower limbs were like always on fire, 24 hours on fire. So he actually seek for medicine, Western medicine help, even TCM and other acupuncture, whatever, he already tried. But when I introduced iTeraCare to him, he immediately bought one unit and start to use. So this was 1 month later that you can see the skin color much improved. And then even the fire sensory issue also much reduced already. He feel more comfortable, much comfortable and can sleep better. Yeah, so he continued using it regularly, consistently, at least 3 times a day. Yeah. And drinking the charged water as well. So actually, iTeraCare can promote the blood circulation from top to toes. You can use it from top to toes. That was up to the toes. This one up to the head. Taufik, a young man, he had a motor vehicle accident during his internship. So multiple bleeding in the brain, causing coma at home for 1 month plus because the doctor said no operation can be done. So that day, the auntie who was a nurse, Puan Nura, she came to my shop to look for some muscle relaxant tablet. But then after I getting to know what his problem, then I recommend her iTeraCare. So when she agreed to buy one unit, the second day we visited Taufik and I taught the father how to use on it. So after the 30 minutes treatment, actually, then the physiotherapist came in. Then easier for him to manipulate Taufik because his arm, his hand is not that stiff and spasm. And then along the week, the father used on Taufik, he said Taufik is more and more awareness and sedar, more and more movement on the limbs also. So good news came 2 weeks later, Taufik regained his consciousness. Yeah, then he started to learn sitting, a bit walking, a few step walking, and then speech a little bit, swallow, drinking some water also. Yeah. So along the way of all this recovery, then we make another second visit with Yilan. That was 6 months later in November. Yeah, so actually Taufik could already converse with us and recall his memory and walking on his own already. We have video to show.
This is Taufik. He's 23. In April 2025, a serious accident caused multiple brain bleedings. There was no option for surgery, and he was sent home, unconscious, to heal the best he could. But his family chose hope. Every day they used iTeraCare to support his recovery. Quietly, patiently, consistently. 2 weeks later, he opened his eyes. And slowly, day by day, he began to return to himself.
That's how.
Eating again, recognizing his family, moving his limbs. Eventually sitting, standing. And now, 7 months on, taking steps with growing strength. His progress is gentle, but powerful. A reminder that healing doesn't always happen fast, but it can happen. With faith, love, and persistence. If you're caring for someone who's struggling, and you're looking for gentle guidance, feel free to reach out.
This is the great recovery of Taufik. I think this is the end of my sharing. This is
Okay.
only the small, yeah.
Yeah. So, Moon, I think we've worked through all of your slides. Thank you so much for that sharing. I have a million questions for you. But firstly, how do you feel about your journey with the iTeraCare for yourself and everything that you've seen so far? How do you feel about it?
For myself, it's not easy because I cannot see obvious and fast improvement on myself. But the results on my customers that giving me confidence to continue to use it. So actually it benefited my family very much. And then for my customers too. Maybe God send me this problem, where till I go, for me to discover about iTeraCare so I can recommend to more customers. But sometimes most of the people will never believe of frequency therapy. They don't know about this, so they won't believe. Even some I show a lot of proof, pictures, photos. Not everyone is willing to listen or believe or try. Even after the trying also, some they might not continue, even they see any result. Yeah. So actually it's not easy. But still I never give up to myself to convince people. If yeah, who knows? It can save one and more lives, right? Yeah, and one day they might remember of me, then they will come back to me for the iTeraCare for a trial, or even they don't buy from me, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. But I think the people that come back to you, like for example, the father in the video that you showed walking again, like the impact that you really leave on people's lives is so significant, I think, with not just only because of the iTeraCare, but with the iTeraCare. Can you share a little about how you introduce the iTeraCare? Because I'm sure a lot of different types of people walk into your pharmacy. How do you bring up the subject to them?
Yeah, by looking at their problem, I show them some similar testimony. And then on the same time, I will do a small energy test to show them how the charged water, the energy will affect our body. It gives us the strength immediately when we get near to the charged water, right? That we put a bottle of charged water in the pocket, we can did the energy test. So most of the people will be amazed with the effect of the charged water alone. So imagine when you blow on your body, the effect is much stronger and faster. Yeah, then they will only start willing to try on the iTera therapy lah.
Cool. This is part of a question we got from Evie, but in a more general way. When someone listens to you and they take the iTeraCare from you, how do you tell them to use it usually?
Oh, okay. Usually, I will have the brochure and the printouts on how to blow on the 10 points protocol. Yeah, usually I ask them to start with the 10 points protocol. Then you can focus on the problem area more. Yeah, even like one day you want to focus on your kidney or your liver, you can blow more on that area. Of course, like for uric acid, you can blow more on the kidneys. That one is to help to excretion of the uric acid. So different problem, we have different way to encounter, but there is no right and wrong, because when you blow on your palm, the energy go through your whole body. Because that what we I saw when I treat when I blow for my customer, when I blow on the palm, the feet color, skin color already changed, and then the numbness gone immediately when I blow on the palm. So it means when you blow anywhere of your body, the energy goes through your whole body. So there's no right and wrong, just blow it.
That's very true. As long as you use it, it will have the kind of effect. Has there been anything that has surprised you over the years? Like when you maybe even you didn't expect that the iTeraCare would work with a certain customer. Hi.
Yeah, every time different story also surprising me. Like there
Mhm.
was once a lady with the 24 hours eyeball behind the eyeball pain. Yeah, so she went to optometrist, even she checked, she got no glaucoma, no intraocular pressure, no eye drops to be used, even painkiller, so couldn't help. So she couldn't sleep. She cried during her sleep also. But that time when I blow more on this area and spray and charge water, after 30-minute session, she said the pressure all gone, relief, even for the eyes. That means when everything flow, so your problem can be improved, can help. So actually like what you show in the slides before in TCM teaching, we need the chi for flow. So we need everything to flow. Our body makes of 70% of liquid, the blood, the lymph, everything. So all this, they need the chi, the force to flow. When it's flow, then the stagnant all gone, then your problem will slowly improve.
Yes, I agree with that. So I'm starting to talk more and more about like how chi flow is a way of understanding the human body. I'm glad you see it from that perspective as well. What is the protocol that you used for yourself to help with the vitiligo?
Oh, my vitiligo. Actually, I don't really focus on my lower limbs already. I blow most on my tummy to lose weight, to help my bowel movement, blow more on my liver and sometimes on my kidney. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter where you blow, as long as you blow your whole body. Yeah, do it regularly.
Yeah. How do you use it for yourself? Like, what's your like daily routine with the iTeraCare?
Yeah, previously, initially for the first 1 or 2 years, I blow every day after my work. Yeah, but recently because I sometimes got to work on night shift, so maybe I got to blow 3 times a week. So, but when I blow customer in my shop, yeah, I get to blow myself too because I get the
Mm-hmm.
energy along the way. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's so true. If anyone has any questions, drop it in the chat. I've already covered Evie's question, and we have a lot of people sharing how much they loved all of your testimonies because it's true, like the stories that you're sharing is real impact, right? Like how the boy felt, how all of these people feel is so real. For anyone who's in the call and someone just shared the link with them, they are still thinking about the iTerra Care. Do you have anything that you want to share to them?
Sorry, you're asking me?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, if there's like anyone here who's still like thinking about it, what would you share to them? Like,
Do not hesitate about it. I've been using it for 3 years already, and I've seen what it can do that what other medicine or TCM cannot do. Yeah, even if you don't have any sickness, but this one you can maintain your health. And if for those people who have any health issue, then this one will surely help you. But then together when you use the iTeraCare, I found a lot of people actually they are having some lifestyle problem that one we need to correct them. Because like TCM teaching, when we have too much of cold, dampness, it will accumulate in our body, it make the qi stuck. So when the stasis, the stagnant will cause inflammation and causing more and more other issue, inflammation, cancer. Yeah. So when you use iTeraCare, hopefully you can modify your lifestyle like to drink more warm water, no cold water, no late shower, no no always stay in the aircon room, go more under the sun and other modification too. Yeah, that will help.
yeah. On that note, and maybe as a final note, what do you think people can do? So, like with the iTerra Care, we tell them to use it at least like twice a day, if possible, every day, at least for 2 to 3 weeks, right? On top of that, what is the lifestyle modification, like you were talking, that will give them the best effect? What else
Yeah.
can they do?
Your eating, reduce like eating raw food or any fridge cold food and more warm water, less carbonated drink. Yeah, and then more exercise under the sun or go or do more grounding. Or if you cannot do grounding, actually like me, I'm using my bio together every morning. Every morning after the bio, I will sure go to toilet, clear my bowel. So the bio and BioLite actually help the circulation up to your brain, your head, also very fast. So beside your food, your lifestyle, your shower issue, your then you can try to use together with the bio and BioLite too.
Oh, thank you so much. We have a question here from Jen. So I'm going to ask the question a little differently. You have been using the iTeraCare for a long time. Even your first generation iTeraCare that you've used for 3 years, do you find it to be still effective?
Yes, the what we call the one crystal tube, what we call that
Mm-hmm.
already?
Yeah, yeah, the
The
crystal
one
tube.
it work, yeah, it works permanently, it works forever. Yeah, it won't deteriorate because the minerals still inside. And then every day when I talk to customer, I did the test to show the energy, the strength, so it still work, of course.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh,
Jen, I hope that answers your question. And that is true along with the advice that we give as Prive. As long as you keep the device working, you take care of the crystal tube, and you like keep the device clean and everything, it should last you for 5 to 7 years, if not longer. As long as you take care of it, it will take care of you. Okay, thank you, Jen. Let's see. So this is a question from Julianne. Moon, let me know what you think about this. So Julianne lives in a place which is at times very hot. It's like 40 degrees Celsius, so it's like a very hot weather. Is it still okay for them to use the iTeraCare? Would you still, if it's very hot around them, is the hot air still okay?
Yeah, I think it's still okay because the hot air is actually warm and comfortable. But of course, you can blow at a windy area, so you have enough air, not a stuffy area. Then if you sweat, it doesn't matter. Let it sweat because sometimes the sweat is because of the dampness, right? Yeah. So I tell my customer, if after your shower you blow, even you sweat, leave it dry. Then you will feel much more comfortable and better. Don't shower after the blowing session, even you sweat. So some of them, after they sweat, actually they feel much relief, especially the body aches. Yeah. So sweat is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Sweat is good. Sweat is a
Mm.
way for us to release.
Yeah.
Well, we've actually hit the end of our time. Moon, thank you so much for coming in with us. Do you have any final thoughts you want to share?
No, I will keep using it. So everybody keep using it until you see your result, and your family, your friends can benefit from it also. We keep sharing to people, yeah.
Yes. Let's keep sharing about it. Let's keep sharing our experience. Thank you so much, Moon, for sharing your testimonials and your experience. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking part in this Zoom call. I would like to invite I would like to invite all of us to like turn on your cameras if possible. Let's like wave each other goodbye. Thank you all for joining me this week. Let's meet each other again next week, same time, and we'll hear to more stories. Big hello to Pearl, to Dipankar, to Joy, Mr. Lam, to Mini Haha, Juja Wellness Gallery. I see you girls. Albert, I see you. Julianne, Raimundo, Linda, Maria Faye, MK, Ramesh, Susan, GD, Ged, Meilang. I see all of you. Thank you all for joining us. Moon, thank you so much for sharing your story. I love you all. I will see you guys on the next call. Bye everyone.
Bye. Thanks. Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you,
Bye.
Moon. Fantastic. Well
Thank
done.
thank
Fantastic.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you.